My son. You trifle with matters you cannot possibly understand. Stay away from this thing.
Pandora!
Help! Help, Kratos!
Zeus! What has he done?
Remember your purpose, Kratos.
Pandora's box.
The power to kill a god still rests inside.
He told me to never talk to you again. If I did, he'd hurt you the way he hurt my father. He told me he would kill you.
The hands of death could not defeat me. Sisters of fate could not hold me.
Fear of you consumes him.
He can't. How can I recover the box?
Pandora.
As long as Zeus reigns, there is no hope for mankind. Destroy the flame, Kratos, and the very foundations of Olympus will crumble.
If you take it to the flame...
The death of Olympus means the death of us all.
We must leave this place.
Come, I can show you the way.
Our journey is far from over, Pandora. By its end, you will not be thanking me. A simple child will not trouble me, Athena.
I'm not a child, Kratos. I've seen many terrible things. I'm not afraid. I understand what lies ahead.
The twilight is upon us. She is the key to our revenge.
Hephaestus did what every father should do.
Please.
Protect his child.
Fear is its own kind of darkness. They called me a monster.
Words mean nothing.
Your ruthless murdering of the gods has caused all of this.
As the fear in the gods rose, mine was replaced by hope.
Hope is for the weak, Pandora.
Hope is what makes us strong. It is why we are here. It is what we fight with when all else is lost.
This is what hope delivers, child.
Welcome back to more Let's Play God of War 3. Kratos has a kid now, Pandora. I mean, she will insist she's not a kid, but, you know, we all know what this is leading to, right? The Calliope. The Calliope, he sees her as he sees Calliope. There you go. The end. Spoiler alert, I guess. Welcome to the shortest episode of God of War 3, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is a very, very short episode. Didn't feel right to put this at the end of episode 10, and I didn't want to sully the final battles of episode 12 and 13 with the 20 minutes that we have here, so I decided to just make it its own episode. So welcome to episode 11, the filler episode, I guess, where we're going to be doing a thing for 20 minutes, and then we're going to be done with the thing, and then we're going to actually move back on to the story. So, hooray! Here at the top of the labyrinth, you have 3 hidden chests. Make sure you get them all. Once we return to the top of the labyrinth in the beginning of the next episode, these chests will respawn and be closed again with more red orbs. So make sure you open them now, and then make sure you come back to these exact same places later, so you can open them again. Alrighty? With that, we have ourselves another save point here for the top of the labyrinth. Then we're going to have a cutscene that is going to lead us into the next part of the game. So I will see you after the cutscene.
The chain, Kratos. My father once told me it maintains the balance of power within Olympus. Break the chain to raise the labyrinth.
Wait here.
All right, here we go. Another falling minigame. Another flying minigame. This time we're falling, but it's the same exact controls as when you were flying. This time Kratos doesn't have the wings because he doesn't need them, because we're just falling right back down to Hades. This whole episode we're going to be back in Hades once again for the last time. Again, only 2 major areas to explore in God of War 3. Mount Olympus, every nook and cranny of it, and Hades, every nook and cranny of it. This falling minigame is probably the most difficult version of the minigame in all of God of War 3. There's some very tricky little There's some very tricky obstacle placement. It doesn't help that the camera is kind of difficult to it's kind of difficult to tell with the camera where all the obstacles are. You want to make sure Kratos is at the lowest point possible on camera. That way you can have the best view. If you take damage here, it's okay. First of all, I don't think there's a trophy involved for this particular minigame. Second of all, if you do take damage here, don't worry. As long as you survive to the end of the minigame, you get all your health back in time for the upcoming mini-boss. Because as soon as we're done with this minigame, we're going to be hitting a mini-boss. A very, very difficult mini-boss that I would put on par with the Scorpion from Episode 9. It's not as difficult as the Scorpion, but oh my goodness, it is a difficult boss. Once you get past those little pillars there and those platforms, you're basically done with the minigame. Again, if you survive to this point, you get all your health and magic back for what's coming up next, which is going to be a mini-boss. It's the Cerberus breeder. It is a big, giant Cerberus that can breed mini Cerberus pups. Many kamikaze Cerberus pup hounds that we've been seeing all game long, except these ones actually run at you and explode. It's a very, very difficult mini-boss. I don't like it at all. It all has to do with the fact that in the later phases, satyrs join in on the party. I told you before, they don't pop up that much, but they do pop up, and they are very, very annoying when they do. I died 3 more times to this thing. It's very, very annoying. It's a matter of luck in some cases. Phase 1, very simple. Cerberus breeder. You just want to keep your distance, use the Bow of Apollo. If you can get in close and do some chip damage with the Blades of Exile, that's great. But otherwise, just keep your distance. He will consistently shoot out He's going to consistently shoot out his kamikaze children. These are basic Cerberus hounds that blow up after a certain amount of time. Don't let them blow up at Kratos, or they will do a massive amount of damage. You really want to keep your distance away from them. When the Cerberus breeder isn't doing that, it's going to do the regular Cerberus attacks, charging, swiping with the paws. It also has some new attacks involving fire, where it shoots little fireballs up in the sky. Those are very, very difficult to deal with, and you want to keep your distance away from them, because you can't actually block those. You have to just dodge away from them. Cerberus breeder in Chaos mode has a lot of health too. That doesn't help this at all. The fact that this thing has so much health, it's going to make the phases where the satyrs get involved that much more difficult, because you have to survive that much longer, because this thing has that much more health. But now we've eventually finished phase 1 of the fight. Every phase we're going to be cutting off a head. Phase 2 of the fight is exactly the same as phase 1. The Cerberus breeder does not change its strategy at all. The only thing that changes is that a satyr now has joined in on the fight. You really, really don't want to bother dealing with the satyr at all. You want to keep your distance away from it. Remember, as we discussed in the previous episode where these things showed up, you no longer have you can no longer control the pace of the fight by grabbing them and doing the mash circle QTE with them. That doesn't work anymore, because enemies will just attack right through that in God of War 3. So you really just want to keep your distance from the satyr. Focus on finishing off the Cerberus breeder as quickly as possible. It's difficult, but it can be done. Now, phase 2 is annoying. Phase 1 is reasonable with its attacks and what it's asking you to do. Dodging the kamikaze bombs, dodging the fire, dodging the Cerberus, blocking the Cerberus breeder's attacks, doing damage. Phase 2, asking the exact same thing, but now there's a satyr, is annoying, but it is possible. Phase 3, a second satyr is going to join in the battle, and then it just becomes unreasonable to do what the game is asking in Chaos mode. So once we get to Phase 3, you'll notice I haven't used any magic or any Rage of Sparta so far for this battle. We're going to. As soon as we enter Phase 3, we are going to unload everything we have on the Cerberus breeder to finish off as quickly as possible. When the second satyr enters the battle, you want the Cerberus breeder to die as fast as possible. The only way to do that effectively is just spam your magic. If the magic isn't enough to get him to QT kill range, Rage of Sparta. Do whatever you have to do to get this thing to die immediately before you turn your attention to the satyrs. With Cerberus breeder dead, do whatever you have to do to kill the satyrs. They're the only things that are left. No more reinforcements are going to spawn in. Kill that Cerberus breeder as fast as possible, and then hope that you do well against the satyrs. They're very, very difficult enemies. so annoying, and there's so and there's a couple of more encounters with them in this final filler part of the game that I don't like this filler part of the game as a result because of the amount of satyrs. The Cerberus breeder is on its own, it's okay, but adding in the satyrs, it's just unreasonable to. It's just unreasonable. If you end up wasting even a little speck of your magic or your rage before phase 3 of the Cerberus breeder fight, you really are screwed. You really are screwed, and you're probably not going to survive. It's a really, really difficult mini boss, which I get because we're at the end of the game, but it's really, really annoying and kind of luck based to do well in that in chaos mode. With it dead though, excuse me. With it dead though, there we go. Cleared my throat and now I can speak normally again. With it dead though, we can now move on to the main attraction of this part of the game, which very simply all we're going to do is go up to the backs of the 3 judges' heads, and we're going to destroy the onyx that is behind them. So here we go. First of all, in order to get at that onyx, we are going to have to interact with Chain of Balance first, thinking that we can just destroy it. Of course, we can't. Not just yet. If we try, the judges are just going to cover it back up. Thankfully, doing that opens up the gate to the right, so now we can go ahead and explore this whole Judges of the Underworld area again. This is another scenario where, similar to the Upper Gardens, how we explore multiple areas in the Upper Gardens, including Daedalus' workshop and Hera's garden, the name of the location never actually pops up on screen. It's the same thing here in God of War 3. The Labyrinth is actually the last location name that pops up for God of War 3, so returning to the Judges of the Underworld and going back up to the Labyrinth and everything after that, going up to where the Pandora's box is and all that, no more location names are going to pop up again. So for the collectibles guide, the Labyrinth is going to be a very, very long area that includes the return to Hades and the return to the top of the Labyrinth. So that's fun. Anyway, that little bit of dumb video editing nonsense out the way, let's go ahead, move on now that we've destroyed the first onyx. I believe now we're going to have a fight, yes. Hounds and sirens. The sirens remain very annoying to the point where I'm actually going to die here again. Not great. That's the last death of this video, I'm pretty sure. And the last death that I have pre-end of the game. Pre-final boss. And I mean final boss, because I don't die at all during the first 2 phases of the final boss. It's the final phase of the final boss where I end up dying quite a few times. This encounter, annoying because the sirens are annoying, but are annoying and slippery and bulky also, but relatively straightforward in what you have to do. I really don't like the sirens, though. If I had to pick a least favorite enemy type in God of War 3, it's the sirens. They are so annoying. They do so much damage. They make that whole final gauntlet very, very, very difficult in the Labyrinth, and they make this encounter very, very annoying. Satyrs are a close second. The only reason Satyrs aren't the most annoying enemy in the game is because you just encounter them so few times that they don't really make that much of an impression overall, whereas the sirens, you see them a few more times, therefore they are a little bit more annoying than the Satyrs, but not by much. Not by much. It's almost equivalent. I end up going to the portal accidentally. Whoops. Whoopsies. Go ahead and finally... of course not. Hate that the siren was next to that portal. Ruined. A nice clean kill. And I was super nervous at this point because now I have literally a little sliver of health left, and there's not going to be any health or magic chests for for a while, and it's going to be after your next refill isn't going to be until after encounters with some satyrs, which I was not excited about. Thankfully, God of War 3's combat mechanics, I was able to make it through with a lot of trouble and a lot of caveats, but I made it through nonetheless. So now that we're approaching the end of the game, I guess I can start to wrap up thoughts about this whole experience. I did not expect recording God of War to take me as long as it did. Did I? No, I really didn't. Less games than Mega Man, so I figured it was going to take less time overall, even if the games were obviously longer than any Mega Man game. But between all my real life stuff and the editing that I've been doing with the God of War videos themselves, no, it proved to be a very, very long project. I'm glad I did it, because now that it's all done and I'll get to see it all complete, I'm hoping that it's going to be pretty cool to finally see it all done and all out there, for better and for worse. I'm really excited that it's all finally done. When it comes to the future of God of War from Santa Monica Studio, really, aside from further titles that take place post-Ragnarok, I really would like to see them try their hand at remastering Ascension for PlayStation 5 to get it up to spec and up to the standards of God of War 3's of God of War 3 on a technical level. Because it would be great to play Ascension on the PlayStation 5, not through the PlayStation subscription program that they have, but actually have a version of the game that is just equipped and ready to go for PS5. And beyond that, it would be nice to see them, in my pipe dream, to see them remake God of War 1, 2, Chains of Olympus, and Ghost of Sparta, to have it match the visual fidelity, the visual technical fidelity of, and mechanical fidelity of God of War 3. That is the ultimate, the ultimate pipe dream for the God of War franchise. Aside from just seeing new Kratos adventures post Ragnarok and new Atreus adventures post Ragnarok, I would also like to see what Atreus is up to post Ragnarok as well. I would also like to see them advance the plot line that we're getting regarding Athena's ascension to a higher plane of existence, and the whatever connection that may have with the crack in reality that Odin had in his in the area that he made his study. I really, really, really hope that future God of War series and titles don't necessarily focus in on that, but don't forget about that. Don't forget about that aspect of the story. It's very interesting. I would like to see more of that in the future. More stuff done with this higher plane of existence. We have Satyr, annoying. I was very, very nervous fighting it, obviously, with my little sliver of health thanks to those stupid sirens. The enemies in the background, thankfully, seem to have gotten caught in an invisible wall and can't advance any further. The Satyr, thankfully, did advance further, but then a second Satyr appeared and really just... oh, man, not fun. But, thankfully, with the Bow of Apollo, we can do some chip damage off in the distance to try and soften it up by the time it actually gets to Kratos. The Bow of Apollo really is an amazing weapon, and it is the savior of God of War 3. It is the best weapon of God of War 3, especially in Chaos mode. Good to see it doing some work here in this very, very dire emergency scenario where I almost die. For some reason, the satyr didn't want to get any closer, so I'm just going to keep chipping away at him from a distance, safely. Blocking in case this thing decides to surprise attack. It didn't. I was finally able to do a grab. When the satyr is the only when the satyr is the only enemy on screen, or the only enemy that presents any clear and present threat to you, then it's okay to do the grab thing. Just be aware that, unlike in previous God of War games, when you grab a satyr, it does not pause. It does not. The enemies don't just stop to look at you as you do that. They are going to react and behave accordingly if you decide to open yourself up by grabbing a satyr. Couple of more enemies. One more enemy, I should say. Though I'm pretty sure another one. Yeah, another one's going to pop up to replace that one. And these are the last two enemies of the game. Again, very, very nervous. I'm on a sliver of health. Any one hit is going to kill me. And I really didn't want to keep having to fight satyrs again and again and again. But now with only one enemy left, hopefully I will have the courage to finish this one off. There we go. With the shield broken, it's a simple matter of just punch, punch, punch. And we're done. That is the last battle pre-final boss. Hooray! And we got through it with the barest of health. What that means now is all we have to do is head over to the judge's head, break this this last onyx thing, head back down to the chain, break that, and then we are good to go. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, this is the filler episode, the short episode where we're just transitioning from one thing to another, in this case transitioning from saving Pandora to the end of the game. Next time we are at the end. The end of God of War 3, the end of the God of War trilogy, the end of the God of War Greek saga. I hope you are excited for that. Yeah, is there anything more to say, really? I don't think so. I hope you all enjoyed. I know I did. Can't wait to talk about the ending. Can't wait to get to the ending. So we're going to break these and we'll move forward. So I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Zeus knows I've escaped! Hurry! I can hear him! He's near! Please help me, Kratos! Hurry!